The IBIS Hotel roof level is around about 30 metres and we've got a 3-metre structure on top of that. This project was to obscure the mechanical and electrical plant and air handling units that were being placed on the roof, which are quite unsightly bits of machinery. Just to the right hand side of one of the buildings there's a residential development which out of the windows you would oversee this roof and plant area, but now it just looks like a covered in structure. The main challenges were to build around the already designed mechanical and electrical systems that were being installed on the roof, but also at a height of over 30 metres. Generally speaking, this louvred plant area will contain anybody who is working on the maintenance side. It will keep them safe. Firstly, we approach it from the respect of we have done the previous work before, we know what section will do what particular span that we need them to do. We then work backwards, we model it, then give it to the structural engineer to then prove it. The next stage of the design process is once we've got the structural calculations and the structure proved, is applying all the bracketry system that needs to go onto that structure to put all the aesthetic bits and pieces on, such as the louver blades in this particular case. To hold the structure together and all the different component elements, there was a number of different brackets used that had different shapes and had different hole centres. The benefit of SketchUp and modelling the building in 3D, you can easily see what sections come together, whether there's any clashes, and see whether there's any mismatches in opposing faces that won't bolt together correctly. Modelling the building in 3D enabled us to pass that model on to the client to see exactly what they were going to receive on site and see how it looked. It benefits the client because the costs to design are kept lower because it's easier to design, and he gets a structure that is right first time. The benefits of the design is that we can shorten a beam on site, we can add extra holes if we need to into the plate quite easily because it's aluminium. It doesn't suffer from the corrosion aspect that structural steel typically does. Aluminium structures are a lot lighter, they don't suffer from corrosion, they're paintable, and the longevity is vastly enhanced. The Alu structure guarantee is typically, it's guaranteed for life because the corrosion properties of aluminium are not the same as any other product. It will not corrode. Once you have everything bolted into our system, which is a completely bolt together system with bolt channels, we have the opportunity to fix anything to that wherever we want to fix it and have the adjustability inherently built into that system. So once all the secondary members are onto that structure, it's just a case of clipping the blades on and the job is finished. But the most important thing was time on site, keeping build program to a minimum, which is obviously a benefit to us, but more so the client. So if we arrived at site and the client decided there was a design change, that the door clashed with some pipe work, we could just move that door on site to its new position with ease. If we had a particular measurement on site change and we had to shorten a beam, we could shorten that beam in probably 5 to 10 minutes. With a piece of steel, that would probably take you 3 days, 5 days. You'd have to take it away from site, you'd have to cut it, you'd have to re-galvanise it and then re-transport it back to site. So it's a lot faster process. We managed to put that structure in half the time that you would put a steel structure up in.